Thank you, Madam Speaker. The question in my name is directed to the Honorable Prime Minister, Minister for Ethnic Affairs, Sugar Industry and Foreign Affairs. Can the Prime Minister inform the House whether there is any intention on the part of governments to establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to reconcile and unite the people of Fiji?
Thank you. Honorable Prime Minister.
You don't let the moral authority talk. Keep quiet. You keep quiet. Listen. Read the things my friend.
Order.
Listen.
Order. Honorable members, order. The floor is given to the Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the short answer to that question, Madam Speaker, is a big no. Madam Speaker, there is no need for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission because today, Madam Speaker, the Fijian people already stand more united than at any other point in our life. And that is owed to the unprecedented slate of civil, political, and socio-economic rights enshrined for all time in our Constitution. For those who don't know, this Constitution, our Constitution. Madam Speaker, unlike those on that side of the House, this side of the House, and unlike past governments in Fiji, my government knows that the only true path to unity is through equality. And that belief, that commitment, Madam Speaker, has both defined and driven everything Fiji has achieved under my leadership. In the very preamble to the Fijian Constitution, Madam Speaker, it states clearly that we are all Fijians united by common and equal citizenry. Because of our Constitution, for the first time in our history, we are all equal in the eyes of the law and united in common purpose. Because of our Constitution, Madam Speaker, every Fijian knows that their vote and their voice matter the same. That all of our citizens have an equal say, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their religion, their socio-economic status. We've made education free. We've built a network of reliable infrastructure and services throughout the country. We've formed our first national university. We've expanded access to scholarships and affordable tertiary loans. And we've done that, all that, Madam Speaker, because we've adhered to our mandate set out by the Fiji Constitution. We've achieved such success because, for the first time in Fijian history, we can say with every confidence that our unity is our great strength. We've knocked down the divides in our society that past governments sought to entrench. We've leveled the playing field for every Fijian, and we've put greater opportunity in the lives of all our people, everywhere in the country. Madam Speaker, while on the subject of truth, I see great irony that opposition is posing this question when they themselves are so blind to the true history of our country. They ask about truth and reconciliation while they themselves live in denial of the truth. They live in denial of the years of institutionalized discrimination and systemic oppression of our fellow Fijians that cripple our nation for decades. My government recognizes that dark part of our history, and we've come to grips with the grim reality that was faced by far too many Fijians for far too long. Fijians who felt unwelcome in their own home, and those on the margins of society who were excluded from meaningful participation in their country. My government recognizes the immense harm those years caused Fiji, and I have made it my personal mission to ensure that Fiji never slips back into those lost years. Because we cannot afford to take backward steps. We need more. more than ever to look to the future. We need to ensure that discriminatory practices of the past stay dead and buried in the past, where they belong. Madam Speaker,
honorable members,
it is our constitution.
Honorable members, the interjections are getting disruptive, please.
Let me just shut up.
Thank you. Please continue, Honorable Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, it is our constitution and the strong and independent institutions it establishes that guarantees equality in our society. And it is equality that unites us as one nation and one people. That is the truth. And armed with that truth, Madam Speaker, we will continue to carry Fiji into the future. Thank you.
I now give the floor to the Honorable Noekula.
Madam Speaker, one important use of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is to stop coups and counter-coups. And I'm very sad about this. Given that, what is the alternative that the Prime Minister have to stop any future coup? What's the alternative? What do you have?
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, if there was, for example, an investigation into the 2000, somebody like him would be brought to the fore for taking money into George Page's camp.
Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it?
Thank you, and I give the floor to the Honorable Biman Prasad.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Prime Minister showed the Constitution. Possibly as part of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, would the Prime Minister inform this House whether Section 119 of the Constitution, which requires the Mercy Commission, will be established soon? It's not a different question. It's not a different question.
Madam Speaker, on a point of order, the Honourable Biman Prasad shows his ignorance. If you looked at the order paper, there is a question by exactly the same question by Honourable Bulitavu tomorrow. Why is he asking a question that's completely unrelated? And in fact, it is listed as a question for Tuesday's order paper.
Madam Speaker, it's a question to the Prime Minister.
Point of order. You keep quiet. I'm addressing the Speaker. Yeah. That's my point of order. The point of order is it's already listed as a question and it's unrelated to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
I agree.
Mercy Commission's got nothing to do with it.
I agree with
Read the
point of
law.
order. Let's be succinct and relevant in our questions. I now give the floor to the Honourable Karamaki.
Madam Speaker, can the Honourable Prime Minister tell this House the truth of what the government will do to those that were unjustly tortured and killed in 2000, and also those that were unjustly terminated from their work? Thank you.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, if the Honourable Member can come up with a list of names of those that were removed from their employment, maybe I can let him know.
Thank you. There being no other question, I now give the floor to the Honourable Mikhail Lewere.
Madam Speaker, I rise to ask question 3 under my name and addressed to the Attorney-General and Minister for Economy, Public Enterprises, Civil Service and Communications. The question is, Madam Speaker, can the Minister inform this House on the progress of the reconstruction of schools destroyed by Cyclone Winston? Thank you.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honourable Attorney-General, Minister for Economy, Public Enterprises, Civil Service and Communications.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the member for this question. Given the circumstances, Madam Speaker, the progress is going well. Thank you.
Supplementary question, Honourable Sarah Durandrondo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Right now, the Avea District School in Vonombalavu is still not being repaired, and it didn't come under the New Zealand government rehabilitation program because of relocation to new site issues. So can the Honourable Minister explain where the children are attending school right now and when will the school be rebuilt? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the Aiyaz District Primary School, sorry, Madam Speaker, there is one tent with 10 students in it.
2 years still under there.
Madam Speaker, I'm answering the question. There is one tent with 10 students in it, and temporary sheds are going to be built when the work has been tendered out. This is work that was referred to us much later on, and that's the situation of Aiyaz Primary School. School is continuing there with one tent with 10 students in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Pramod Chand, you have the floor.
Madam Speaker, can the Minister advise this August House whether the full recovery and rehabilitation of schools destroyed by T.C. Winston will be systematically addressed in the next proposed budget?
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I failed to understand the question. If the member could elaborate.
I thought you were very smart. Can the Honourable Minister advise this August House whether the full recovery and rehabilitation of schools destroyed by T.C. Winston will be systematically addressed in the next proposed budget? Is that clear?
Madam Speaker, I rise to ask question 3 under my name and addressed to the Attorney-General and Minister for Economy, Public Enterprises, Civil Service and Communications. The question is, Madam Speaker, can the Minister inform this House on the progress of the reconstruction of schools destroyed by Cyclone Winston? Thank you.
Thank you. I give the floor to the Honorable Attorney-General, Minister for Economy, Public Enterprises, Civil Service and Communications.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the member for this question. Given the circumstances, Madam Speaker, the progress is going well. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to ask a question under my name to the Minister, to the Attorney General and Minister for Economy, Public Enterprises, Civil Service and Communications. Would the Minister explain why the Fiji Bureau of Statistics cannot release data on ethnicity from the 2017 Fiji Population and Housing Census, since the issues, for example, on health, education and social welfare are impacted by ethnicity? Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, this is again an indication of the opposition's obsession with ethnicity. Really an obsession with ethnicity. It would have been really nice if the Honourable Leader for Opposition asked us, did the census reveal how many poor people we have? How many doctors do we have? How many people are actually earning a particular wage? Is the majority of the population, what age are they below? How many people have bank accounts? How many people have access to mobile telephones? How many people have access to road, water, electricity? These are more pertinent questions that need to be asked, Madam Speaker, not with this obsession with ethnicity, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, health, education, social welfare are not impacted by ethnicity. Health, education and social welfare are impacted about the range of services available to them. Do we have enough doctors? Do we have enough specialists? Do we have enough medical equipment? Do we have enough health centers in remote areas? In respect of education, do we have schools with proper facilities? Do we have enough teachers? Do we have specialized teachers? Social welfare, how many people are below the poverty line? Without having reference to ethnicity. What's this obsession with ethnicity, Madam Speaker? Completely irrelevant, completely unrelated to whether a person ethnically, which particular category they are in, Madam Speaker.